And also, I got to ask, here in the States, that Ali Act, it's on its way to being amended. It's pretty much a done deal, or on its way to being. What's your initial impressions on that news taking place?
It is what it is. I mean, like, we don't have an Ali Act in the UK. I think it's a tremendous tool for a fighter and their team to ensure you get your market value and you get what you deserve. I think the bigger issue for the UFC and for TKO is going to be how they're going to be overpaying fighters in relation to what the UFC fighters are getting. So, you might have a situation where, I don't know, Paddy Pimblett or Justin Gaethje, who are fighting on Saturday at sold out T-Mobile with a huge rights fee, are getting much less money than a fighter that isn't a draw, a boxer that isn't a draw. Sorry, do you know what I mean? So that's going to be really interesting because there's a lot of unsettlement there. But I'm a bit against the whole, this is terrible for boxing. Putting the Ali Act to one side, I think Dana White and TKO and Nick Khan, those kind of people in boxing, is probably a good thing overall. Like, it's new blood, it's new money, but it's everybody they're in boxing for a reason, because boxing's hot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but are you saying, because Bob Arum actually echoed your sentiments about that could be some kind of conflict for them at some point if you pay the fighters in boxing a certain amount?
I think so. I think it's going to be uproar.
Yeah.
There's going to be a guy headlining. I don't know, Jai Opetaia might be on more money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we know the numbers for Jai in Australia that he's been doing, stuff like that. So, and I think at the moment the bigger issue is that when you're doing a show, you have to really have a narrative around the fights, and you have to tell a story to the fan or the customer. So what is the story? Is it a league? So does the league start tomorrow? And someone said, no, the league doesn't start tomorrow. I said, okay, so what is tomorrow? Well, it's just 3 fights. For what? No, just 3 fights. Okay, but what's the story on the fight? Like, is it to position yourself to win a championship? Is it, you're saving your career? No, like, all you've done is, what this is Zuffa Boxing. It's not Zuffa Boxing 01. This is Zuffa Boxing, the same as what they've been doing for the last couple of years. Callum Walsh has boxed already,
right,
but just in front of bigger crowds than the Apex. So I don't think they know yet what they're doing, honestly. And that's why when they say the whole thing was no belts, we're not recognising any belts. Now they're saying that Jai Opetaia's next fight is a big unified fight for all the belts. Mm-hmm. So you are allowing belts now, are you? I don't think they will be, by the way. But I think they're cutting a bit of a place where they kind of want to get going and then figure it out as they go. But they're long-term players. I think they're going to. They're not. It's not going to be a disaster. They're good at what they do,
mm-hmm.
But for me, I just don't understand what it is. Like, what is Friday? Just fights. That's all right. If that's how you want to sell your package, we're doing fights. That's it.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong and the customer's happy just to watch some random fights. But I like a story. I like to understand what these people are fighting for, what it means to them, where they come from, but more importantly, what's on the line. And it's going to be interesting when you're doing an interview like tomorrow. So, Callum Walsh wins. Callum, great win. What's next for you? Surely you're putting yourself in a line to fight for the World Championship. Oh no, you're not, because you're going into a league, are you, or what? Do you understand? But I think overall it's good for boxing. We'll see how it plays out.
Yeah. Any response?
Did you get your interview?
No, I did not.
Oh right.
I don't know. I don't know if that's ever happening. But I appreciate you always standing and delivering as you're one to do. I believe you've responded to it on Helwani and other places. But when he said you're like a politician making these promises, and where were you the last 25 years, and you guys don't think big enough?
Yeah. What?
He thinks big.
That surprised me.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like that, and he said that I was getting personal or something. I mean, I've not said anything personal, but if you're going to say that, you've got to expect me to respond. Like, we've always got on really well, and I respect him and what he's doing, but you can't put me in the same box as others and say I don't think big and where have I been. I mean, my track record says it all. I've got the pictures and the footage to show it,
mm-hmm.
and the stadium receipts. Like, we've done a hell of a lot in the sport. I don't think you should disrespect the efforts. And I've given a lot of my life to this business. Bob Arum's given his entire life to this business. You can't say to Bob Arum, where have you been, what have you done? Bob's done an unbelievable, look at what Bob's done.
Mm-hmm.
Going back to the Thriller in Manila, the Rumble in the Jungle. So you can't buy legacy. You can come in with new ideas, but legacy matters, belts matter. And that's what we're going to be making sure we represent.
And lastly, Shakur Teofimo, you'll be obviously there, a part of the show.
Yeah.
And, who do you fancy?
I think it's a great matchup. I think that Shakur wins, but I also think it's a very tough fight. Two very talented, two great athletes, two very tricky customers. It's going to be interesting to see what kind of fight plays out. You know what I mean? Because they're both guys with great IQ. But I think any fight with anyone in, I would probably always favour Shakur Stevenson. I think he's a generational great talent, and I believe he wins next Saturday.
Good catch up with you, Eddie. Thank you.